Okay, I am live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, right? Queen of Credit. And some people might even add cash flow. This is an impromptu live stream, right? So I want you all to come in, hit like and hit share. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, I want you to hit the thumbs up button. And if you are viewing me live on Periscope, tap those hearts, show some digital love, and invite your followers. I have a special guest that I am inviting in as we have Brandon in the Credit and Cash Flow Room. Let me share my screen and put our countdown timer on 5 minutes of fame. And let me share that as it's counting down. I think it's messaging me now. So let's share the screen as you all come in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello to you all. Hello, Curtis from the South, I believe, Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. All right, as we have our countdown coming in, let me check this message. Hello, hello from Orleans. I'm glad you are in Orleans. Congratulations on the Saints. The Saints winning today. My special guest is from New Orleans, right? So he's coming in. So hello from the NOLA. We got Houston, Texas in the house. Hey y'all from Houston, Texas. Miss G's, hello to you. Um, Arlington, Texas. Hello, hello, hello from Arlington, Texas. You all are going to try to make it through this. I've had some things going on. First with my ankle, and other issues, and had a little tooth pain going on as well. But we're gonna try to make it through this live stream, right? Um, definitely on some pain meds. Definitely on some pain medicine to help me make it through. Let me get this going on. As you all are coming in, drop your city and state again. This is the Queen of Credit. I have a special guest, Alvin George, and our topic is going to be um, how to, during this pandemic, right? How to use credit to get richer in this pandemic, right? We discussed all of the job layoffs, so I'm probably late on the job layoffs as I invite him in. Airlines are still waiting to see if they're going to get support. Let me go through some more of these jobs layoffs. All right, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just bringing the news, right? Shell company laid off 9,000 workers, right? 9,000 workers. Let's see what it is. Disney's, big banks, oils, layoff 28,000 with Disney, so that's pretty much old news. Marathon Petroleum to lay off more than 2,000 employees, right? Shell plans to cut 9,000 jobs. KPMG will be eliminating 400 jobs. So these are just a few that began happening on the 1st of last week. Hello, um, Spiritual Man, glad to have you in. Thank you so much out there in Periscope. Help me get my Periscope views up and swipe right and invite your followers if that's how it work on the scope. Right, invite your followers in. We got Tampa, Florida. How's the weather in Florida? I actually have a paid trip to Miami, right? Just trying to see when and if I can take that within the upcoming weeks to Miami, Florida. Spiritual man from North Carolina, as we have 46 seconds and counting. North Carolina, spiritual man, welcome into the Credit and Cash Flow Room. Hello from Michigan. Hello from Michigan. Proclaim from Michigan is in. We have another Florida in the room. Tallahassee. Kenyon Lane from Tallahassee. You all, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up for me. Right? Hit that thumbs up for me on YouTube. Let me get this in. Okay. Miss Tama said, I got a rip off this past Wednesday. Sorry to hear that. Kenyon Lane, Tallahassee again. Hello from Houston, Texas, as our countdown has expired. All right, that's the 5 minutes of fame. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for tuning in. So the topic is how to use credit and debt to get richer, right, during this recession and pandemic. You're right. Just heard about a lot of the layoffs again. As I get my last person in, Miss Hill from Dallas, Texas, right? Miss Hill from Dallas, Texas. That's my website, fixmycreditandcash.com. If anyone wants to contact me concerning credit repair, restoration, and revision, I help those revision their credit. What I mean by that is help people to use their credit to invest in assets and not debt. Hello from Periscope. Glad to have you in from the UK. From Periscope, right? From the UK, from Periscope, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Hello, hon. Josette from Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in. You all bear with my voice, please, because once again, I just have a lot of stuff going on, but I just decided to go live. I'm going to share this with you. I decided to go live and share this information with you. So I may use my whiteboard today, right, as my special guest. I'm waiting for him to come in. And this is pretty much a clip of what I want to get into. I just don't do credit repair, right? Credit strategies is what I believe in. Credit strategies is what I believe in. And what do I mean by credit strategy? Well, I'm state that strategies are ways that you use credit, right, to invest in assets. Assets is anything that put money into your pockets, right? Liabilities is anything that take money out of your pockets. So my whole point of message is using your credit, learning how to use credit cards, for example, to convert into liquidity or cash, right? Liquidity is the same thing as cash. Let me share some examples with you all for a second as he's coming in and getting prepared. What do I mean by converting credit cards into cash? It's very seldom that I use a debit card, right? Very seldom that I use a debit card. And my reason being is because I like to use credit cards that help me earn rewards that will produce cash or liquidity, right? That's called liquidity. So I'm going to share these screenshots with you all to give you an example of what I mean by that. This is my Facebook page. All right, this is my Facebook page. This is when I had my nails all types of color, right? It's when I had my nails all type of color. But this is just one of my posts. And it's showing that in 1 month, I earned $513 in cash, right? $513 in cash in 1 month by simply using my credit card like a debit card. And cash is an asset, right? Cash is an asset. So if I only use this cash to pay back my minimum balance that month, I still got or still receive, right, free cash to pay that bill. So I use my credit to convert into assets, right? Things that make me more money. And cash is an asset, right? Cash is an asset. Now, cash is a low yielding asset, but cash is an asset, right? We need cash to make groceries, we need cash for survival, and you can convert cash into any asset that you would like to if you want to use cash to invest. Um, I'm not sure if Alvin will be able to join me live. He says he's having some problems with the link. So I don't know what's going on. Let me try again. Um, so someone says, well, I've been doing this all wrong. Um, Miss Tammy said, I have high limit credit cards. What are some good or low assets? When you say you have high limit credit cards, what's your highest limit credit card? And do you have any rewards on those credit cards right now? So what's your high limit credit cards? And do you have any rewards on those cards right now? And so I'm going to share this video with you all as we get into the topic, right? Something to make you think. Something to make you think. Let me get into my history. And let me know once I go in live if you all can hear everything. That was okay, let me find it. Let me share this video with you all.
And this is the reason why so many Black people are struggling, because you have credit cards. Credit is the devil, and this is the reason why so many Black people are struggling, because you have credit cards in college, or students who going to college. I know me and all my homies couldn't wait when we got to college with little boo sitting there signing up for a credit card. We signed up for unsecured credit cards, even though the balance was $1,000.
Yeah,
we went out and spent that $1,000, and now we didn't pay our bill. Now here we are hiring you.
You can't hire me to do your credit. One, for them,
right? We're trying to hire you,
but that's my point of why I'm here, right? Is to give people that strategy to where, listen, you can generate cash and an income stream from credit instead of going into debt. That's where we have to stop. That's where our education barrier lies, because people don't know to actually go out and say, okay, how can I use this to my benefit?
Yeah.
Right. So if I can use credit to a benefit, not an actual, make it an asset versus a liability, right? I don't pay for groceries. I don't pay for utility bills. I don't pay my mortgage, all off of credit. That allows me to invest and be able to build, right? That's why we have Airbnbs here. That's why we have vacation rentals. That's why I have trucks. So I have real estate properties, because I don't have overhead. We can't win with overhead, right? So most people live paycheck to paycheck, but where does your paycheck go? To your bills and survival. So if we can figure out ways that something we can control, which is our credit. I just told you guys that if they pay attention, how to clean it. Grow your credit report, generate capital.
Okay. So I'm gonna speak for me, right? Because I get what you're saying. I'm gonna speak for me. I have an 803 credit score.
I saw that. I saw that on your Instagram, bro.
It's low there. It was an 830. Now it went down.
He's hey, look at that.
Oh no, I screenshotted it and sent it to people hating on you. Absolutely.
What is somebody in my position, right? Because you said it's about cleaning your credit first and then utilizing it after that. Just looking at me quickly, like, okay, I came in like, okay, I got my credit to 803. How can I start generating some revenue?
So if you got your credit to 803, you have multiple accounts or your credit's already built out. What I do is have a 15 credit card formula, right? I teach people how to get 15 credit cards with only 4 inquiries, 4 to 5 inquiries max. So what it'll do is give you about 100 plus thousand. On my Instagram, I went live and did a actual sequence with a customer, and he got 191,000, right? Wow. With the same sequence. So let's say I walk you through, I get you 15 credit cards. Now what happens, right? One, all the reward points and benefits that you get when you sign up a new credit card, well, that kind of Apple method and amongst the other kind, I got a list of about 20 different stores that you can use. You go through those stores, you'll get about 1 million points, which is equivalent to about 10,000, right? But what we do is set that 10,000 to the side. So that's just on your sign up bonus. So now you make 10,000 just off having good credit, going through with sign up bonuses and learning how to monopolize off the points.
Yeah.
Now we go, let's let your credit cards age 6 months before you sell a trade line or add authorized users, right? Then you got to look at what do you want to get.
All right, so let me stop right there. Now, I will tell you that this information right now will not work at this current time, but it's great information nonetheless. Why I'm stating that, what people don't understand about credit is that every 18 months, right, every year and a half, the credit rules, the game changes. And so at the time of this recording, about approximately 10 months ago, AU trade lines, or last year sometimes, AU trade lines were a big commodity, right? Wholesale trade lines. He stopped selling trade lines. He have a YouTube current channel here called The Credit Game, where he's not selling any more AU trade lines. He's only doing credit repair now, right? But there were a lot of people who's stated that they purchased trade lines and did not get those trade lines. But nonetheless, his business model changed, and he transitions from now selling authorized users or AU trade lines to just doing credit repair. Why? Because credit, FICO 10 changed the game, right? FICO 10 changed the game. And I'm going to show you all this screenshot, and this is someone that had one collection on his credit report that he texted me. This is on my phone. Not sure if you all can see it, but he was in the high 700s, and he had one collection on his credit report, and that one collection dropped his score. So he hired me to help him with that one collection reporting, because he wanted to be back in the 800s. And so once I got that collection deleted from him, one thing that I noticed that he had on his screenshot to my phone, and I'm sending this text message now, is that on his updated credit scores, it had resilience score, right? They had the resilience score. And that's what I was telling people, that in the summer of this year, that phase 1 of FICO will be implemented. So how does that play into, so let me share this with you all. So, because it doesn't have his name on it. So Queen, you might be asking, what does that have to do with See, this was, got the collection removed first time, it went up 33 points, right? Did some other things, got him over to the 800. But this is the first phase, if you see FICO Resilience Index of FICO 10, right? That's phase 1. So that's why wholesale trade lines, even though they was making thousands and probably millions, stopped selling trade lines. And so AU trade lines were originally, now the completion process, he was able to get right back and over the 800 credit score range. As again, you can see it says the FICO Resilient Index. That plays a part. In other words, where are you income-wise as well, as far as qualifying for credit, right? Or getting credit, or your equation of having a high credit score. And so, yes, him 500, I always drop Jim's Corey franchise. A lot of his method has grown now to helping people to use their credit cards so that they could sell their debt history to other people that may need higher credit limits, that's trying to get business credit or more credit history. Now, let me give you a little history about AU trade lines, also known as, or better known as, authorized users, right? Authorized user trade lines were created or implemented for generational wealth building tools, right? It was for parents to be able to add their children as an authorized user on their trade line so they can begin to build their children's credit history at an early age, so that when that child or children reaches the age of 18, right, that child will have a high credit score and they can begin or will begin to create business credit for their children. This is the strategy of the rich and wealthy. And so they establish their children credit by adding them to their credit cards, good paying or good history credit cards, right? The children become authorized users, and now the children, once their credit profile begins to report at the age of 18, the rich and wealthy don't encourage their children to look for jobs, right? They get their children business credit by leveraging their personal credit so they can begin to invest in businesses, right? Ms. Tama said her next phase is transition to business building credit. Exactly. So these are strategies of the rich and wealthy. Well, now with the FICO 10 coming into play and its resilience score, it's going to look at your credit profile for a 2-year time period, not just a 30-day or 60-day time period. And this is what would take place for many people. They would pay someone to add them as an authorized user for up to 2 months, maybe 60 days, sometimes maybe 45 days, right? And in doing so, they will get added history to their credit report, and in some cases, higher credit limits, right? Now, the only credit card that does not add the history is American Express, right? Amex. So you cannot, if you are paying someone to get added on as an authorized user, Amex will not report the history. But in this case, maybe some people wanted to build their credit limit, or they needed higher credit limit, so that when they apply for business credit, right, you always have to use your personal credit to mirror the amount of your credit card's credit limits for your business credit. For example, if you only have a $5,000 major credit card reporting on your credit report from the banks, and I'm meaning Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, right, et cetera, then more than likely your business credit card will be only $5,000, or if you have just a $10,000 credit card, right? maybe a $10,000 Bank of America, US Bank, then your highest approval business credit card would be $10,000 in that case. So people may pay someone to add them on their American Express because it's a $50,000 credit card and they want to get a $50,000 business card. This is the deal, people. As of October the 4th, 2020, the strategies, the strategies of getting net 30s accounts are using getting business credit without personal guarantee. And what I mean personal guarantee is without using your social security number. Those days are gone. Those are long gone. So when someone is asking me, Queen, how can I get business credit, right, without using or leveraging my personal credit, my answer is you can't, right? Department store cards, gas cards, right? Logo cards you can only use at those stores anyway. So for example, Home Depot cards, you can only use at Home Depot. Lowe's, you can only use at Lowe's. Uline, you can only use at Uline. I'm trying to think of some more net 30, right? And so the whole purpose of getting business credit cards is you want to use the bank's money anyway. Now, there's nothing wrong with a Home Depot or a Lowe's cards if you are in construction and you need to use their products and services. However, they will not help you get approved for business credit, right? A lot of people think that I need to build my paydebt score, and if I just use 5 of those accounts, are also known as net 30. Again, Uline, Home Depot, Lowe's, Granger, those are some. Then the banks will look at my paydebt score and not my personal credit, right? And I can get approved with just using my business EIN. Those days are gone, right? The banks will not look at how you use your Home Depot card or Lowe's card or Uline card and give you thousands of dollars. They want to know, how do you use your personal credit? How do you leverage your personal credit? Are you a responsible person on your personal credit, right? And this will be a factor in deciding, right, if they will approve you for their lines of credit, right, business credit cards, or even a business loan. And so you would have to ask yourself, most people, that want to use that route or want to not use their personal credit, my question to them is always, why wouldn't you want to use or leverage your personal credit to get the business credit, right? And my strategy with them is always, especially in the beginning, get the business credit cards that will not report on your personal credit report. Okay, I see this comment says, I have a 59 resilience because my student loan is showing as a high limit. And you're right. A lot of times that's why people don't want to use their personal credit, because they have high debt ratio reporting on their personal credit report. And there's also strategies that I have, which includes getting more money out of your paycheck through a home-based business, right? Or earning additional passive income, or doing both, and or earning residual income through the home-based business. And if you still are fortunate enough to have a job, to also get more money out of your paycheck, so you can bring home an additional, on average, $200 to $600 or more monthly, depending on your job, right, legally. Because one of the strategies that the rich also use besides AU trade lines to help their children get started earlier looking for businesses and not jobs, is they have tax professionals on their team, and they know how to keep more of the money that they make. So they shift their money into a passive residual style of earning that money, right? Because what the poor working middle class and high income middle class don't understand, right, is that our money is not earned by your labor. A job is not the only way to earn money. And the poor working middle class and the high income middle class, many don't get that message. They don't understand it, right? And if you do, because 90% of people have jobs and they work for money because they don't understand how to make money work for them, what you need to do is convert your paycheck into the same tax bracket that anyone that's earning passive or residual income will be taxed on, right? That's why Warren Buffett tax bracket is 17%, and his secretary pays 30% of taxes, because she does not know how to income shift, meaning to shift that money out of her paycheck back to her and not pay into taxes. So those are just some of the strategies of how you can use credit to get richer during this pandemic. Number one, right? Clean your credit up, right? Clean your credit up. You really do miss your home state? Wow. It's a lot of people comfortable in Mississippi. I think Mississippi is too much of a comfort state. And people, they don't have a progressive enough mindset, right? And so it's not many people that leave Mississippi that say that they miss it, because Mississippi is so much of a comfort state, and you have so many things like payday loans that are so widely available in Mississippi and other southern states that's even illegal, right, in northern states, right? And so, Mississippi has some good things about it as far as maybe family and sometimes friendly, sometimes it's not. A lot of racism and prejudice still goes on in Mississippi as well. However, Mississippi is a very traditional and religious state. And you have more people in the state of Mississippi with an employee's mindset. Not that you don't have them in other states as well. This is not to bash Mississippi, but Mississippi is the state with the lowest average credit scores, right? So you have more people with an employee's traditional religious type mindset than a progressive business style mindset, right? But you may still miss some of the southern cooking and the family atmosphere in Mississippi, right? So yeah, there is some great land in Mississippi to grow your own food. It's called the black soil, right? G Brown says, Queen, do you offer a do-it-yourself credit repair book or course? I do not, and I'm not sure if I want to offer that. I thought about it. I contemplated that even today, because this is the deal, people. You have a lot of template letters out there. A lot of people that's saying, anyone can fix their own credit, right? Credit repair, you can do it yourself. And this is true. And you know what, on this topic, let me share this with you, this video, because I am revamping and changing some things in my business. I don't have a business mentor, but I watched this video because I'm learning now how to take my credit and my business to another level to get 6-figure loans, right, by reincorporating my business. And so I'm learning to have, or the importance of having, a holding companies, so that my operating LLCs will be under that umbrella, and I can get higher credit limits of funding. And so I watched this video about a holding companies, one of my other favorite channels that I love to watch on the YouTube, Mr. Hustlers Kung Fu. And it was about 2 years old, but it really helped me in business, helped me so much. And let me share this clip with you all so you can know how I'm restructuring and revamping my business moving forward. And I will elaborate some things on the 609 credit repair, because it is a very powerful do-it-yourself dispute letter, but it has been for years sold with the wrong language and using the law incorrectly, right? Using the law incorrectly. So would I consider teaching a credit report service? Well, let me share this video clip and then I'll take your feedback from it. So give me 1 second.
People who can read a book and figure it all out, but everybody can't do that.
Okay, give me one. Let me rewind.
Well, no, actually, you can't find a lot of these strategies here. One of the things that you have to understand, this is something I've been doing for years. And this is something I had to explain to one CPA. And once I explained it to them, they got it and they checked out the legal on it and it was fine. So Paragon Edwards, one of the things I don't think people like you seem to understand, and I will say this, if you feel that you're smarter than me, start a YouTube channel and start teaching people. Let's see how that goes. But everybody can't read a book and learn.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. He said everyone can't read a book and learn. That's number one. All right, that's number one.
To be taught, some people need a teacher. There are a few people who can read a book and figure it all out, but everybody can't do that. See, Ashton, hey, Glenda, what's your email for those who are not on list? I don't have one. I'm so busy with this that if you're not one of the students, I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to be funny, but I got a few hundred people paying me money. Why would I want to talk to someone who isn't paying me money?
Okay, that's number two, right? People reach out to me via email, text messaging, want me to communicate. When I go live, that's not paying me money, right? Why would I want to talk to someone who's not paying me money versus the people who is paying me money? So when I heard this video yesterday, I'm revamping my credit services and business practices, right? I don't really have a mentor in this game. So I have to take mentorship really from people like this on YouTube who's done or going where I'm trying to go business wise. Because see, even in my live stream, there are a lot of people who come on here and people ask me questions, not them, right, in the live chat. And people think that they can answer questions on my live stream. If you feel like that you can answer questions that people are asking me off my platform, you need to create your own. Because a lot of times their responses is not a response that I would consult someone, or not one that I would say. And people take that information from people that just show up on my live stream the way they do for information and knowledge, and they take it and they want to run with it. So I'm going to stop having people give their answers on this platform that I feel like are misguiding or misleading, or that will not actually help the people. Right. So let's finish watching this. Let's finish watching this.
I'm just keeping it real. They come first. I mean, that's one of the things. So you want to sign up for Hustle Undergrad right now, until I get an assistant, I'm probably not going to be talking to anybody, not answering any questions, because if you have a question, this is the time to ask right here. I'm here right now. You can ask your question. So I feel I do these streams frequently, so you have access this way. But I'm not going to be getting
the same thing with me. I do live streams frequently. You have access to me to ask questions. And if it's a question that you should invest in, I will let you know. Right. I will let you know. So long gone are the long text messages, the text messages at midnight, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Hey, Queen, I sent you an email. Okay, I'm going to let him elaborate on that too.
And into consulting via email, because that's really what it is.
He said at that point it gets into consulting via email because that's what it is.
I'm so busy with this that if you're not one of the students, I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to be funny, but I got a few hundred people paying me money. Why would I want to talk to someone who isn't paying me money? I'm just keeping it real. They come first. I mean, that's one of the things. So unless you want to sign up for Hustle Undergrad right now, until I get an assistant, I'm probably not going to be talking to anybody, not answering any questions, because if you have a question, this is the time to ask right here. I'm here right now. You can ask your question. So I feel I do these streams frequently, so you have access this way, but I'm not going to be getting into consulting via email, because that's really what it is. Daquan, you got me with those clean job things a couple videos back. It's crazy how many people still send their kids to college for clean. Paragon, Edwards. Once again, when people come in the tracks and they try to school people with extra help, usually it doesn't end up well. I've been doing this 10 years. So we'll see. Daniel Moody, if I'm working for a company right now, can I have them deposit my check that I'm making right now to my holding company? Daniel Moody, what you would have to do is have them hire you as a contractor and hire your LLC. There's a few more steps. Steve Jameson. Cool read. Books give you the theory, you giving this true experience. I appreciate that. Books give you a theory. Getting the book is like reading the book on pimping rather than getting the game from a real pimp. It's just not the same. I like that. All right. Since we're kind of sensitive, all right. Remove. See, this is a reason. I know a lot of people want to flex and shine their expertise. You're not going to do it on my time. You're not going to do it on my dime. Go ahead and create your own channel.
All right, so I'm going to stop right there. He said a lot of people get on his channel and they want to flex and shine their expertise, and you're not going to do it on his channel, on his dime, on his time, right? If you want to flex and shine your expertise, create your own YouTube, right? Create your own YouTube. If you want to be the expert on my channel, create your own YouTube. So I have a lot of people who want to be experts on my channel. I'm stopping it as of today. I'm stopping the responding to the emails, right? Because he said he's right. At that point, it turns into email consulting, right? That's all it is. If you want invest, if you would not invest $125 to get your credit audit, because there's nothing that I can answer about your credit until I look at your credit profile, then you at that point is not my client. And I know a lot of people would like for me to write a book or to do it yourself credit product, and which I could, but at the end of the day, right, even if I created a letter for people to send in based off the true law of 609, which is just not until let me say this, 609 is very powerful when used correctly, but it does not consist of requesting the credit agencies to produce a signed contract with your signature on it, right? Because when you get credit cards, you do not enter into a signed contractual agreement, but yet you have charge-offs on your credit report as it relates to credit card. You have late payments on your credit reports as it relates to credit card. Thank you, Jesus so much, King, for that $3 super chat. So why would you send in a template letter asking for a signed contract? You did not sign a contract to create that credit card account. That's not what 609 consists of. So I printed it out. It's about 2 pages. Just a beginner type thing. Step 1, right? Because I tell people all the time, you should never write the credit agencies asking for verification. That's what a lot of these template letters have out here. Okay, Ronald, let me put the sign up link in the comments as I'm speaking. And that's what a lot of these letters have. I'm asking for verification. No, ma'am. No, sir. You don't ask the credit agencies for verification. You began off asking them for documentation. I need to see the documentation in your files, right? Which may include signed contracts or credit application, right? That you receive from the creditors, right? Before this information was added to my credit file. You have to know how to use the language and the law. So if you're asking for, as I try to find this link, documentation first or verification, you're going to get a response back stating that they have verified the account. See, credit repair and removal of negative items is not an ABC operation. ABC 1, 2, 3. It's not that operation. Ronald, that's the link. Let me make sure that's the link to get you back. And I also have, and Jesus, what time do the Lakers play, huh? You all know I love my Lakers. I should have worn my Lakers shirt today. Okay, that's the link. I love my Lakers. So I have to get to the Lakers. I have to watch my Lakers play today. So, I'm not going to be on this live stream for long. But I will think about it intensely. Queen, thank you so much. She's always giving into the super chat. I will think about it intensely concerning, and Ronald, that's the second link, concerning at least giving you a step 1 affidavit process of what you can do for the right step 1 at 4:30. So I think that will be 6:30 my time. So they give me an hour. Okay, that's why I went live early. Right. And so, Ronald, those are your 2 links for you. You all are always the real MVP. But when I heard that let me know that I have to change my business practices. Because if I'm stressed and I'm drained and I'm sending emails from non-clients more than I am clients, I'm not servicing my clients to the highest standard that I'm supposed to. If I'm responding, and it's only $125 investment, don't ask me, how can I remove this collection? What do I do if this collection was removed and I was replaced? Those are what my followers posted or commented earlier, right? Those are cash questions. Those are cash questions. That means you should give a donation or you should give a consulting, right, super chat to get that answered. And if it's not the price that I'm quoting you, then you still might not get an answer. So I do help people that are frequently, like Gwen and Jesus, give super chats. But I help them also at the level, meaning that, if you give, let's say a $5 super chat, I'm not going to answer a $500 question for $5, right? And so this is not a do-it-yourself free credit consultation. Thank you, Jesus, thank you. Channel. Now, the information is free. I give you the information for free. The implementation is an investment. Let me say it again. The information is free, right? I just told you what you should start off with. Start off asking for documentation. Documentation. If you are going through a credit restoration program process and the first thing they ask for verification, that account is going to get verified all day, right? But you need to ask for the documentation that they received from the creditors before that they added that account to your file. And that requires knowing the law and the language and knowing how to put the letter together, right? So back to the topic of getting credit or getting rich in this pandemic, right? Using credit. This is an example of someone or what a person that would look like that uses credit to get in debt versus using credit to invest, right? Let's say this person have a $15,000 credit limit, and I hope this works because I haven't written on it. So they have a $15,000 credit limit, right? Or a $15,000 credit card. And then this person uses $4,000 of their credit card for shopping. I just put 4K. All right, they use $4,000 out of the $15,000 for shopping. And then they use $3,000 for a vacation, right? $4,000 for shopping throughout the year, $3,000 for a vacation, $2,000 for random spending, right? $2,000 for random spending. Now, let's say they have this credit card at 16% interest, right? 16% interest, or the annual APR, meaning that they will spend out $1,440 a year just in the interest on this credit card. Now, at 3%, right? 3% of the carrying balance that they pay, their monthly payment or their annual payment will be $1,500 a month, or a year, or $125 a month. This one card will cost $11,940 overall in debt. And this is what the average person or the average consumer, this is how they use their credit. And so for this person, the advice that Dave Ramsey would tell you to cut up your credit cards, get a second job, pay off debt, is for you, because you're using your credit card to purchase liabilities and not assets. Right? You're using your credit card to purchase liabilities, $4,000 in shopping, name brand clothing, right? Things that depreciate in value. $3,000 on the vacation. Yeah, you have the memory of your family, and the memories, right? But that's all you have because you come back with a bill, versus using a home-based business as a leverage, where you can take a business vacation and a portion of that trip while you're enjoying time, with family is tax deductible. This is how home-based business works, to help you keep more of the money that you spend out and have more of that cash flowing back to you. And then we have people that's just $2,000 random spending. We don't know where it went, right? That's how some people use their credit cards. And then they have very bad credit or low credit, or maybe they got a 0% interest rate and then they didn't pay it off before that promotional period ended. They didn't pay the balance off, and now they're getting double charged for credit, and now the card is at 16%. So now you're paying the bank $1,440 a year. Now you got to pay the bank, right? And on top of that, your money, $1,500 a year or $125 a month. It's not the way I teach you to use credit, right? This is not the way you need to use credit. Again, if you are coming in late, one of the ways to have passive income from your credit cards is recognizing the difference of credit cards, their benefits, and what they have to offer. So, for example, if you have a cash back reward credit card, right? This is my Chase credit card. Then you can get money back in cash. Again, cash is an asset, right? And that's called liquidating your credit cards. I received $513 back in 1 month. This is just one of my credit cards, because this credit card, and this is my business credit card, offered me 1 point for $1 earned on all my purchases. So for that month, my purchases was 513 points, or equivalent to dollars. If you can see this statement, you will also see that the statement reads that I also get 4 points back. Let me trying to make it bigger. Excuse me. 1 second. But I get 4 points back for internet, cable, right? Okay, I went out for a minute. I hit the wrong button. I know, where did I go? So that's how I get my passive income back, right? I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. It temporarily locked me out from my credit card. So know what type of credit cards that you're using. All of your credit cards should have a purpose, right? They should have a logic behind them, right? These are credit strategies, right? Credit strategies to make you richer during the pandemic. So let your credit card have a logic behind it. Some people used to use them for travel miles, right? Traveling during this health pandemic has fallen off a great bit. So I would highly recommend that people now use them to get cash back, especially with inflation and deflation occurring. Meaning that inflation means the increased pricing on your everyday goods and services. So when you can get that 2%, or you get that cash back on your credit cards, once you qualify for good credit, then that's a form of passive income, because you're able to convert that into cash, right? You're able to convert that into cash. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I believe that credit is an asset when used the correct way. When you use it in this format, it's a liability. So now, authorized users, AU trade lines, right? Do you still need to invest in them? They can be an advantage to you if you already have a strong credit history. 35% of your credit score is calculated by your payment, your credit age, or your credit history. So if you don't need them for the credit history, but you're saying, Queen, I have $5,000, $10,000 credit card limits. Those are my higher credit cards. If you can still find anyone that are selling them and they have $20,000, $25,000, $50,000 limits that's legit and honest, then that will help you if you already have the credit profile to qualify for business credit. What will that credit profile look like? It will not just be a high credit score, right? And when I say high, over 720 or above, it will have no bankruptcies, no foreclosures. There are some people that have a 750, for example, a higher credit score, but they have a bankruptcy reporting, right? Well, that will automatically disqualify you for business credit. So what you need, or what I highly recommend you do, or if you know a family member that has a high limit credit card, right? They have good credit, and that high limit credit card balance is not high, meaning they're not almost maxed out. If it's a $50,000 credit card, under 10% would be a $5,000 or below average. They have great paying history. You need that credit limit, and it also will help your history, right? Because most people use authorized trade lines only to try to get approved for another liability. They will not use these strategies to get assets, which means they would get their credit score boosted by adding an AU trade line for maybe 30 days, 45 days, or 60 days. Then they would go out and purchase a vehicle, right? They look in an account that this was a temporary move to increase their credit score, but they didn't calculate that I don't have the cash flow or the income to pay for this vehicle, and that within 6 months it may be repossessed anyway, and then my credit score would drop again. So an AU trade line, in my opinion, should be used for business credit, higher credit limits, approval, and to add more history to your credit profile, because there's 35% for those purposes only. So you can be a person that has a very thin profile, very little history. And that's why when you pay off installment loans, like a vehicle loan, right, that has fixed monthly payments, that will, on your Credit Karma, which shows your Vantage score, lower your credit score or drop your credit score, because it takes away from your payment history because you paid that account off before time. And that's fine, because it will also free up your cash flow, right? It will free up your cash flow. So Jesus says US Bank Cash Plus is an underrated 5% credit card. So let's look into that. So those are ways that through your credit card, if you have a good credit card cashback reward, that you can get passive income and you can get cash, right? So let's look at the credit card Jesus. Speaking of US Bank. Hello, Martin from the 313. Glad you are in the credit and cash flow room. Okay, so they do have a US Bank. Choose a category. A limited time $200 bonus after making $500 in eligible purchases for the first 90 days to open an account. Also, I love credit cards with 0% balance transfer. So that is a good introductory offer for 12 months or 12 billing cycle. Just notice about the 0%, however, that after that 12 months, if those balances or purchases are not paid off in full, then your annual percentage rate on any credit card, not just this one, will readjust, meaning that they will charge you starting from day one interest on all those balances. So also with those 0%, make sure you have a plan in place to pay those credit cards off before that offer ends, right? So key benefits: earn up to 5% cash back on your first $2,000 each quarter. Just notice it is a quarterly card, which means every 4 months. I personally don't really like dealing with cards like that. 5% is a great thing to have. But you, in this card, it says you get to choose the categories, right? You must enroll each quarter into categories of your choice, or all net purchases will earn no more than 1%. Categories are subject to change quarterly. Transactions qualify for 5 or 2% based on how much merchants classify the transaction, or how your merchant. So I don't really like the cashback card that works in quarterly, simply because every 4 months you have to make purchases. It may be groceries, it may be gas 1 month, it may be shopping at Walmart or Target 1 month. I don't like all it. I would rather just have a consistent 2% cash back on all my purchases, and every 4 months I don't have to switch it up. But if you work that way, you feel like you can do that, then that may work for you. That wouldn't necessarily work for me, but that is a great 5% cash back. Credit score must be 720 across. Not necessarily for business credit. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 720. 720 is a good starting point. However, this is credit is not necessarily your credit score, it's your credit profile to get qualified for business credit. Meaning, as I was stating earlier, no bankruptcy at all, or repossessions reporting. Definitely got to have less than 5 hard pulls inquiries on all 3 credit agencies: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Less than 5 inquiries or inquiries. No negatives, no late payments within the last 2 years. Late payments or derogatories. Collections, right, within the last 2 years at all. So if you meet that credit profile, then, and you have a credit card, major credit card, that's why these net 30s, department store, logo cards, gas cards won't work. You have to have a major credit card at minimum, right? $5,000 credit limit, preferably a higher credit limit than $5,000, right? So that way you will get because the business credit cards, when you're doing lines of credit and credit cards, will mirror the highest credit limit of your personal card, right? So that's when Navy Federal gets into play, and it's of great use, because usually people with at least a 720 and their credit profile meet those demands can get approved, especially if they have direct deposit set up with Navy Federal, for a $25,000 credit card. So once you get a high credit limit credit card, your business credit card normally will match it. Okay, so that's one way: passive cashback rewards. Number 2, to liquidate your credit cards. Number 2, leverage your personal credit cards to get business credit. And in doing so, number 3, have whether it's a home, I prefer a home-based business, because you get the best of both worlds, meaning you get the tax strategies, you get to save money from the money that you're making, and then you need business entities. You need business entities, right? Some banks will not approve you, for example, if you don't have a fax number. Some banks won't approve you if you don't have a physical address, not a virtual address. So you definitely need a business entity, LLC or corporation, right, S Corp, for approval as well. And that's even if you have the home-based business. And I'm going to, again, I've been having some tooth pain on my left side. Just a lot of health stuff going on with me. But I'm going to do a private Zoom training for those who are my business partners in the home-based business to break down business entity and why, even in the home-based business, even if they started out with their enrolling under their social, that they do need to get a business entity and an EIN, not just for business credit purposes, but also for tax purposes as well. So that's going to be my private Zoom and my private people. That's my business partners. So questions at this time. You're welcome. You're welcome, hon. Jimbo, my cashback Visa with Navy Fed, I got it at 188 also. Clicked on the FICO score and it showed perfect 850. I don't know why it's so perfect. I'm not looking at it, but hey, I'll take it. It's better than having a 650. And you have a low, but I mean, I think maybe Federal uses a FICO, is it 8 or 9? Let me see. Scoring model as well. So my private Zoom, I don't know. I do things impromptu. I never schedule anything. Whenever I just took an 800 milligram ibuprofen. So whenever my tooth is feeling well. So Navy Federal use FICO 9 based on Equifax data. So just know you can get a free, right, FICO 9 Equifax score, or Equifax, whichever way you want to call it, score through your Navy Federal account. I also suggest that you all have these free credit monitoring. You can get Experian for free as well. If you're a Navy Federal member, you can get Equifax for free. And if you're not a Navy Federal, I recommend getting Credit Karma for free as a monitoring tool. Just know your score will be a Vantage score, which is not the score that the banks and lenders use. However, it updates and report every 7 days, and it helps you to monitor. I might will. You're right. To monitor what's going on your Equifax and TransUnion report. I'm halfway drowsy and sleepy now. So yeah, I'm going to watch my Lakers play. I got to watch my Lakers play. Again, I'm contemplating if I'm going to actually, sell this product to help people understand how to correctly use the 609. That's always step one that I recommend for people. Start there, not asking for verification, but documentation. What documents that they have in their files to verify that account before they place it on your credit profile. This is the proper way to use the 609. And it does not just entail a signed contract with your signature. It entails more than that. It's inclusive of more than that. Get your free credit monitoring, right? Liquidate your credit and then get real assets with that. Or if you know how to trade, I do believe in trading. Trading, according to the #1 best-selling book, and I'm gonna have to get off soon because it's arrogant to my mouth and I feel it, but is a biblical principle, right? Trading is a biblical principle. I'm not against forex trading. I'm not even against swing trading with stocks, but I do tell anyone, just know that when you trade, you can get taxed just like you get taxed out of your paycheck off the capital gains. And if you don't have a tax plan, then you may only bring home or earn 60 to 70%. But that's still better than a paycheck, right? Why is that better, Queen? Because that money goes directly to you first, and you pay taxes on it last. Through a paycheck, you pay taxes out of it first, right? You get taxed first, then it goes to you. Well, no, you don't. You get taxed first. You got your FICA included, and then your insurances come out, right? You got to pay for your health insurance, liability insurance, dental, vision. So then big businesses, corporations get paid second. And then that money hits your bank account. And then you get paid third. So that's how the paycheck payment cycle works. So at least with swing trading and forex trading, that money gets to, or their profits, right? Profits are better than wages, comes to you first, right? And then you get taxed on that at the end. However, if you have the home-based business, then your taxable income can even be less. And this is, we're going to have Credit Church real in Matthew 25, real briefly, the parable of the talents. It states that the master, he gave everyone their talents according to their own ability. And he entrusted his wealth to them, to 3 servants, right? He gave 5 bags of gold to one, 2 bags of gold to another. Look what he gave them, though, people. Assets, gold, right? And 1 bag of gold to the last one, right? Now, some people might say, well, he actually gave them talents. He gave them money. This was money because when he came back, he said, what have you done, right? And the one that he gave the 5 bags to said, look, I doubled your money to receive the 5 bags. I put the money to work and gained 5 more bags. And so the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more bags. And the one that received the 1 bag, he went and dug and put the gold in the ground, right? And hid his money. And so a lot of people that went through the Great Depression, they can relate to this. They hid their money as a way to survive and to keep it safe, because the government made it illegal for them to hold their money, their wealth, their gold. They confiscated their gold. It could have been passed on to their children for generational wealth, right? And so many people don't know the things or historical things that happened when it came to stealing people's wealth, right? Ronald said, clove oil will relieve your toothache. Thank you. I have to find out where to get clove oil from, but I definitely will. Thank you all so much. Ginger, essential oil. What about just ginger? But does it have to be ginger oil or just ginger? Better with time says I went from 22,000 to 26,000 with my Navy Fed. Congratulations. Congratulations, Better with Time. I'm glad for you. I also hope that you can leverage your personal credit to get into business credit. And why do I say that? Why do I continue to promote that? Is because you can qualify for business credit card that will not report as long as you keep it in good payment history on your personal credit report, which means the debt that you use to invest and use those business credit card with will not report. And see, people, the number one thing to prosper in this pandemic, and even in whatever business venture that you have in mind, the number one thing you want to do is not have a lot of overhead, right? You don't want to have a lot of debt reported on your personal credit. That's your leverage credit, right? That's your foundation. Thank you, Jimbo Jr., for the $2.99 super chat. I have not created the Patreon channel. I'm not sure that I will, because what I think that channel will probably, what people will expect out of it is to get free credit advice for cheap. And I'm not doing that. They feel like, well, I'm paying $5.99 a month. I can come on here, I'm a subscriber, and ask you credit questions. Now, if you can find something I can do on my Patreon channel besides give people the expectations of getting free credit advice for cheap, then shoot me some ideas. I'm more open for it, right? Okay, y'all see y'all old fashioned. I have some those strips that I have on there too. Take some perfume on a cotton ball, put it on there too. And okay, okay, we'll see. But I may just have to end up going to the dentist. I just had a week. This is room temperature water, so my ankle is better. I was walking around the track and slightly twist my ankle. And last week it was think like chest pain because I'm coaching and I'm using my voice now more than anything. Then I have to wear that mask, so that irritates my throat and my chest, right? Because I'm not talking at normal voice, I'm yelling. Um, so it's a lot of things that I've been going through the last couple of days. Don't know why the tooth problem though. So if you all can think of other things I can do with that Patreon channel, then let me know because I'm not in the business of giving free or giving credit advice for cheap. I'm just not going to do that. Last thing I want to share with you all, right, to help you think about your credit in more ways than shopping, vacation, and random spending and paying interest to the banks or paying the bank's money is this video clip that I want to share. So if you have any questions, if it's not a consulting question, you can go ahead and ask it now because I'm about to log off. Probably take another ibuprofen and get ready for the Lakers game because it's also affecting my ear too on this side. So let me share this with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the concern and care. I thank you all so much. And then this is going to be our wrap-up video. Just something to make you think, right? Think differently about credit.
How to get loans, stuff that you know, like, okay, well, the job they shut down colleges, they shut down jobs. Then what would I have left if there was never around? What would I do right now? If it was never no jobs or colleges, no more, what would I do? Right. You know what they'll do? They have to find a trade. They have to find a hustle. They have to research. Why don't you just research right now? You get what I'm saying? What are you waiting on? You might as well start doing that right now. Yeah. While you got the time.
Freddie Gibbs tweeted, "Fuck the 1,200 stimulus check. Add 100 to my credit score. 100 points.
Exactly.
Would you now? We know you got bread, but as a normal, average salary making person in America, would you take that 620, 650 credit score, or would you take that stimulus package?"
See, we'll take the credit score because we know exactly what to do with it and how to use it because it's about being effective. $1,200 gonna get spent. $1,200 in today's world in 2020 ain't no money.
Nothing.
You can actually go spend that on food.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Clothes and stuff like that.
One pair of shoes now these days. So Balenciagas is cost $400. Your shoes right now cost $400.
You gotta understand this. The credit scores is about relationship building. When we go apply for something, we are actually forming a relationship with either a bank or a company or a lender to basically let them rock with us to make us bigger so we can spread our wings. You feel me? But that's $1,200. What you gonna go do? If you try to flip it or invest it, you either gonna lose it, spend it. You know what I mean? You might as well just credit is the key right now.
Which I agree with that, but because I just recently bought a home, new car, and the crazy thing about the credit thing is, yes, you can have an 850 credit score because that's the highest you can go.
Yep.
But they still want to know about your credit history.
Exactly.
Explain the credit history.
Let me explain.
Because a lot of people they're going to run with I got 750, 720.
You're right.
You still can't get certain things.
You're right. You can have a credit score of 750, 800, but you can have $1,000 limit, a $5,000 limit. Only I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna just give them the sauce. The only way you're gonna be able to get like an 800 with like $100,000, $50,000, $200,000 credit limit is trade lines. Ain't no way around it. And that's either knowing, piggybacking off somebody in your family that's wealthy, or just clearly buying trade lines. You know what I mean? Flat out, from 50s to 100s to $200,000. That's what most. That's what they didn't used to tell us. Like back in the day, that's what people was doing. They was getting trade lines on their kids' credit and not selling them to college, but getting them businesses like that, opening up subways and stuff like that. They was training them how to be wealthy before that. They was training them to be like a worker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can train your kids. There's two ways. You can either train them to be a worker, which you have them go to school to get a job, or you're going to train them to be a business person.
Yeah.
How about you just go open up this business? They're like, how? With your credit. Okay, how could I do that? Okay, this bank is going to give you, see this? I put 20-year history on your credit with $100,000, loan that you had this loan. Now you can get a subway. Now you can get this car. Now you can do this. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that. They just run around here like, well, I got a 700, like you said, but you got a $1,000 credit card and can't get a damn couch at Renison. You know what I'm saying?
It's a 700 credit card, $1,000 credit card. Can't get a couch at Renison. But listen, I wanted to share that with you all because that's one position, my daughter. It's time for you all to learn trades. That's why I tell people, you never did business online, virtual business, start with the home-based business. Learn how to market. We have a private Zoom training tonight for the people, the directors in the business, to teach about Zoom training. This is stuff you don't learn in school. This is stuff that, and did you all see this? If you didn't, it's on my Facebook. You have got to start making chess moves, people. This economy will never return to where it used to be, ever. It's not returning there, right? I'm going to share this screenshot with you all. 4 million jobs lost that will never return again. They have vanished forever. So if you don't understand doing business online or virtually, you're going to be left behind. This was CNN, October 2nd. Nearly 4 million U.S. jobs has vanished forever, people. They vanished forever. This pandemic is lasting to blow with the American economy. Do you know what the top 5 online services are right now? The 5th one is financial services. And that's why I encourage people to get into this home-based business, not selling tea, not selling products, right? And I have something else. This is another one. You know how YouTube memory? I've been doing this for a long time, people. You need a tax expert on your team and a credit expert. This is what I was doing 2 years ago, right, in October 2018. Capitalizing on your credit and cash flow. This other thing I have to show you. Now, some of you all will find this humorous when I show you this, but I'm showing you this. I'm showing you this because you don't have any excuses. I'm showing you this to erase your excuses, right? Stop the excuses. I saw this on Facebook. And this lady, right, she didn't have no special, makeup. She just went live like she was, right? Let's see if I can share this. This in my live stream like she was, and she was making money hand over fist on Facebook. This is one picture of her. Like, look, 748 people was live. She had this boutique, just sold this product, if you can see it in the corner, $35. This was one product she sold, right? To share you another picture. Didn't have, what's your excuse for not making money online? What's your excuse for not making money online? What are you waiting on? I mean, another picture of her. If you don't have something online, right? This is her. This is look, 836 people alive at this point. But she was selling them hand over fist. She wasn't on here trying to look extravagant, trying to look in a special way. It's time out for your excuses and for you not to have some type of virtual online business. This is her again on a Friday night. On a Friday night, when you say, oh, people don't want to do business on a Friday night, they party. Look, $48 product right here. $48 product. This lady was selling these things. I was like, wow, I need her on my home-based business team. Wasn't playing any games, right? Now back to that video, because Jumbo said selling my trade line. Now he talked about, in order for you to have high $100,000, $200,000 business credit and keep an 850 credit score, you're going to have trade lines at that count. Now at this point, $100,000, $150,000 trade line, $200,000 is a whole other game, right? That a lot of people who are new to this are not even ready to play. So honestly, at this point, I do my research. I know right now a lot of people, their starting points is to get with me and get with the home-based business, get some residual income in, help people who still have jobs. Because there are some people that got paid October the 1st and they didn't get any federal taxes taken out of their paychecks. But in January, right, they save 6% now, but in January, their paychecks could be up to 12%. Where they're going to need what our home-based business has to offer, because they don't want to see a decrease of 12% out of their paychecks, and they don't want to have to pay that money back in taxes to the government. This is where MWR will come in and help those people, right? Then you have these layoffs and people want to make residual income. Now, although we are losing thousands of jobs, not everyone is losing jobs. And people that are still employed may have a spouse that has lost a job and they need more money into their home. So the person that still is employed may need the $200 or $600 or more out of their paychecks. This is where MWR come in. See, I can't give you the 475 tax deductions. That comes through MWR. You need a credit expert and tax expert on your team, right? And then once you do that, if you don't have the high limit credit cards, if you don't have a 25 or 28,000 maybe federal card so you can get the higher business credit card, make sure you have an entity, a corporation, LLC, a corporation through the home-based business. Start with there. Then use that entity that you created through the home-based business to now get on another higher level playing field of getting business credit, right? Now, if you can find any trade lines, now I have to take this call. You can find any trade lines, right? And I don't know any. I'm going to do my research and due diligence. If you all know any credible people, just know that trade lines would only be to get you to higher limits, not so you can go out and buy a car. That doesn't work anymore with FICO 10, right? My daughter's 21. The strategy in the last video I just showed you is what I'm going to do for her. I'm going to set up her corporation, right? You have to have a corporation with strong charging orders if you're also going to do real estate investing. It's only 3 states that's offer that. And now I'm learning about the power of having a holding company, right? Things what Eden Cole and Hustlers Kung Fu channel have been teaching on for years. What if you're on a fixed income? If you are on a fixed income, then I recommend that you get recurring revenue and start building your residual income through the home-based business. I shared the link earlier to the home-based business. Yeah, this is the link. That's the longer link. I think this is one of the shorter links. bit.ly home-based credit repair business. And this is both of them on the same link, just different ways. But I drop some gems and jewels on you, how to leverage your credit, know what type of credit cards to have in this season, and learn how to use your credit card to get passive income. Credit can be an asset. That's step one. These are the foundational steps. Get a clean credit report, right? Clean your credit up. Get the negatives reversed or removed, right? Step two, get you higher limit credit cards. If you don't have high limit credit cards, you don't know any family member that will add you as an authorized user, then start off with the two 5,000 primary trade line cards. And these are the links to those cards. After you've gotten the $5,000 trade line cards for about 3 months, then go and apply for a major credit card that will give you at least a $5,000 or more credit limit, right? If you don't know anyone, and again, so many people have stopped selling trade lines, right? Because of FICO 10, and they knew that these trade lines would be ineffective for credit repair, but it still will work for business credit. And that's one trade line, bit.ly /5000K trade line, and then bit.ly /5000 just trade line, not the K. So you get those for 90 days, get your major credit card at $5,000 or higher, right? Try to get a Navy Federal account. See if there's a family member that's a member of Navy Fed, right? Chestnut Checkers. If not, Penn Fed. If not, USSA Federal. Get a good credit union. After you clean your credit, get higher credit limits, get a good credit union. Credit unions do not operate the same as banks, right? So if you have high credit union credit card limits, which they offer, they're good at giving higher limits during recessions, you need to get a part of a good credit union, right? Then after you get a part of good credit union, if you can't not get a trade line and add payment history, you need to get your inquiries removed. And you need to get recurring income because you need to save on your taxes as well. So I'm giving you the king and queen chess moves all at once. Start making chess moves, right? It's not checkers. Not playing checkers anymore. And you have to start, if you listen carefully to the end of the video, go back and watch this video. I would recommend watching this video at least 3 times for all the jewels. Yes, I do help with inquiry removal as well. I do. And I will think about whether I'm going to at least give you the first steps of credit repair as it should be, and making a product out of that. I would think about that. I may, do it for $609 the proper way, maybe $50 product letter or something. Because one thing about it, template letters don't work oftentimes because they don't use the law in the correct way. Once you use the law in the correct way, it can't be denied or disputed. So step one should not be verification, but documentation, right? What's the documentation that they had to even add that account on your file should be step one in the credit removal or repair process. So then get your inquiries removed. Make sure you don't have any bankruptcies or foreclosures, right? No negatives in the last 2 years. I connect you with credit consultants with business credit that you can get pre-qualified for if you have all those prerequisites in place, right? Go to my website, G Brown. All the instructions are there. fixmycreditandcash.com. It tells you everything to do under the credit help tab. But no, I do not use Credit Karma. I don't use Credit Karma. Thank you, Eric. And Eric, I think you sent me an email. Eric is my client. No, you sent me a text message, I think. I will look at that maybe tomorrow. I just having some pain this weekend, so I've been trying to just take that medicine and get my health back on track. But you all congratulate Eric. He is one of my clients. He's in the 736 credit club. Congratulations to that. And start your business credit, get your home-based business, and then get incorporated the right way. So that's what I teach people and how to do that. You should have more than 700 people watching you now. Well, you know, I do make, is it passive or residual income? I just did a video last week about the difference between passive and residual. I do make residual income off of YouTube, but I don't really know all the ins and outs. I've never taken a course on how to build a YouTube channel. This has just been done, naturally. And so I do know that, people have different ways and systems to build their channels faster. Maybe they buy subscribers and things of that nature. I don't know how all of that works. But for right now, I'm okay with where I'm at because I'm trying to get more of a systematic way to do credit. And what I mean by that, I have someone working on building my own platform to do my credit analysis, and that I can keep my credit letters in myself, because right now I have a platform that can do the credit analysis for me, but I don't upload my letters on that software because they are my letters, and I don't want the owner of that software to have access to my credit letters. And that's why I tell people it's not about the software, right? When it comes in the credit industry, you must know your craft. People tell me I want to open a credit repair business. Some of the questions I asked them right out front would tell me 4 or 5 of the major credit agencies. They don't know. Give me 3 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws that normally will get deletions for your clients. They don't know. So it's not about just having the software. You must know your craft, right? No, I don't do phone consultation. I talked about that earlier. I'm actually changing and revamping how I'm doing credit. So I'm not doing phone consultations. I'm not answering a lot of emails, right? If you are not a client, because at that point, it gets too time consuming for me. And I have people that enroll in a credit consulting, and it takes away my time from servicing my clients, right? Versus someone who have not invested in a credit audit for $125, or who have invested in a credit audit, and I've sent them an email what needs to be done, and then they want to ask me like 10 more questions behind it. I don't do that. Either you take action, or you can just remain where you are, or find someone else that has that time to give you. But I don't have that time. I just don't. I don't even like it when my current clients, after maybe the 3rd attempt or 3rd round, tell me, hey, Queen, this is still on there. I'm like, I want it off the 1st or 2nd time because I have to move on to the next people. So, month to month type things is not in my best interest. I like to get my clients the results that we discuss, right? But my clients have to know it requires some work on their part. Now, I don't expect a bankruptcy, for example, to be off in 30 or 60 days, and I tell them that up front, because that's a 10-year sentence, and you shouldn't either. But I like to just get it done and move on to the next person, so these people can start having and experiencing credit success. Jimbo said, I think YouTubers is going to add fans only to their income streams. I see one YouTuber that started it. What do you think about adding? I don't know what that is, Jimbo, but I would definitely take a note and look into that. I would definitely like to have, honestly, my channel where it's just more set up for my clients versus just free people, freelancers, or people that have a mindset to progress. There's people who've been following me for years and they've invested in nothing that I do, but it doesn't bother me, right? This is a free platform. It's for everybody. But that's why I tell people the information that I'm giving you is just that, right? It's on the level in which this platform is built. It's free. So don't ask me consulting information that other people have invested in, like how do I remove inquiries? How do I remove these collections? This is not what this channel is for. This is not a free credit consulting channel to give you free advice how to fix your credit. Now I'm thinking about doing a do-it-yourself product. If I do, I definitely will let you all know. But I highly respect my intellectual property and people having, access to that. So that's why I'm just in between that idea or concept, because people always want the cheapest way to get, credit repair done. And usually the cheapest way is not the most effective way. So you all, whether you're watching this live in a replay, have a great night. I'm getting prepared to watch my Lakers now, right? Everyone in California, wish you all well. I did hear on a news article that California, the $600 unemployment was ending. So I am praying for the bigger cities and hope them for the best, like California and New York, right? And so a lot of things going on there. I really don't think they're still talking about the second stimulus. I don't think the 600 unemployment will come back, right? And my channel and I like to focus on production over politics, right? I told you all October will be the month that the economy will have its hardest hits. And now all of a sudden, the president just been diagnosed with COVID. A perfect storm, right? A perfect storm to even make this economy in a worse state that it is, right? So keep tuning my channel. I like doing things impromptu. If you have any ideas of what a Patreon channel should consist of, let me know. You can go on my website, find my email. But again, I'm not making that a channel where I'm giving advice for cheap on how to fix your credit. So that will not happen, right? So here's to your peace and prosperity, your health and your wealth, your credit and your cash flow. Queen of Credit out. You all have a great evening.